two, one, go. Good morning, YouTube. My name is Endo Miller, and today on Talk and Talk, we're going to talk about overcoming challenges. And I have a lot of very interesting people here to discuss this issue. They are very awesome. They have a lot of very interesting points to tell you, to teach you as well. Leo, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. Hello, guys. Good morning. I'm Leo. I'm 27 years old. Next week, 28. I'm married. I live in Rio de Janeiro, Niterói, and I work with marketing and projects. And I'm here to improve my English. Yeah, trying to conversate more is so important for me. Make friends. That's it.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Bruna, Carreta, or Shintaku, you can.
Me? All right. Hello, guys. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. I've been running away from Endo's meetings because the subjects are so hard, guys, that I see the questions previous, like before the meetings, and I just feel
no excuse.
And I just feel like I can't talk about them. So it's good that today I'm feeling comfortable to be here. It's definitely not about English, but about the knowledge, you know. So good. It's good to be back, Angel.
Thanks a lot. It's nice to see you here. Bruna Shintaku, your turn.
Hello, guys. I'm Bruna. I live in Brasilia. So I work with the public service, and I'm here to overcome my challenge about the language.
Evelyn, if you want to introduce yourself, feel free. In Portuguese, could be in English. Feel free to do what you want, okay? So guys, let's start with this question that I was thinking about. What was the last challenge, very hard challenge that you had to overcome in your life? Can you say to us? Bruna Carreta.
Challenge. I don't know. I was thinking of like something really, really big. I think for example, last year I had a hard time when I needed to decide what I would do with my life, because I was having some problems with my boss at work, and I needed to choose, or I could keep working there and like facing the problems I was having, or I could leave it, and then I had a great support from my other job, which is here on TNT, and then this group and the support I had here really helped me overcome this problem, and also, of course, changing careers, starting working with something else. I think all of these things were really new and challenging at the same time. That's it.
And study Spanish.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah, it is hard, but it isn't a huge challenge, like this one was.
Okay. How about you, Leo?
Yeah, I would say a different challenge about my personal life. It was a little, at the same time, complicated, and in the other hands, I would say a little crazy. In the process of separation of my parents, I had to deal so much with a kind of psychology, psychology psychology friends to help them in this process. And then I worked so much trying to intermediate the conflicts, dealing with documentations, bureaucratic challenges, and so For example, in a situation where my father doesn't want to talk with my mother, I had to intermediate to talk with each one in different moments and trying to find a best solution for each part. Yeah. And so it was a process for some months. And I felt that so maybe the the job of a lawyer and a psychologist could be very challenging for you, something very complicated to work all the time. Yeah.
So for the first time you thought about that, like the profession, like being a lawyer, a psychologist, and so on. Okay.
So
Thanks a lot,
crazy.
Leo.
Then when this process passed, I thought so. I've never would like to be a lawyer or a psychologist. Never.
And you, Bruna?
Well, I now my challenge is overcome to my fear to speak in English and special. All the time I needed to overcome about this because it's difficult for me understand that I need and I want and special, and it's possible because sometimes all that in the past I think I thought that I would to understand to learning a new language and especially English because I study English since I was 13 years. So I think I needed to know the language.
He's awesome. Yeah, I totally, in line with you because we need this kind of reinforcement about how to learn more, overcome this kind of, extra energy to move forward. So this is really nice. So let's start from the first question and then we can, warm this conversation. What strategies are successful in helping people overcome difficult challenges? In your point of view, I think what in your opinion can work? Bruna Carreta, it's your opinion.
When we are helping other people.
Yeah. Or for you, you can.
Yeah, I think maybe I feel it depends on the problem, but you understand the source of it, and for example, I had this problem at my job, but it wasn't my responsibility, so I needed to leave the place. Of course, I suffered from it, but it wasn't my responsibility, and I just like needed to live. Maybe understanding who is responsible or where it comes from can help you deal with it. I don't know if this is a good answer. I don't know if I understood the question well, but I think that's it.
Here, there is no, right
I
answer
know
or
there's no right or right or wrong. I
you
know.
know that this is the rule. This is the rule here. Leo, how about you? What do you think is successful in helping people or even yourself? Think it works for you and you can say to others.
Yeah, to overcome challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I would say to think twice or more than two times. It's important. Don't react for the first time. Yeah, when we have a big challenge to solve, and if we start to do the job, the activity without thinking about, uh, that's complicated. Yeah, I believe that reflection it's so important when we reflections and also planning. A good planning is important to overcome challenge. That word sounds a little coaching, yeah, or a little, I would say, generic, but that's it. That's so important, yeah, to think about what we are dealing and how can we going to solve steps by steps. I learned a lot, specifically talking about jobs, with a process of interview that I did for a big consulting company. Then they teach me a lot, how to break problems into parts, into different parts, and that we can apply this in different aspects of our lives, not just professionals, but learn how to analyze a problem, and after these moments of analysis, break this problem into different parts and trying to solve each parts per time. It's so important, yeah, until finish all the problem. I can handle this all the day, almost all the day, with programming problems. Yeah, when we have a bug to solve, so the first part, let's gonna simulate this one, and after let's gonna to this part two, until finds the problem. Then I believe that's so important.
Yeah, yeah, very interesting because I was thinking about this, a lot of, the coach took a lot of this rule that especially being methodic. I think sometimes we forget that we need to be sometimes methodic, like, solving problem in a freeze mood, like, being calm and, oh, I need to solve this problem and I need a method because the problem exists and it's causing a mess. So I need a method. I need, some logic here. But sometimes we kind of feel very stressed by the fear, by the problem is start to do a lot of things in a chaotic mood. So this is really, and I do it a lot. I'm saying because I do it a lot, and I need to, oh my God, let's stop. And then I need to refresh my mind and start, from the scratch. But Bruna, how about you? What do you think about this?
Well, I think that's it. It's necessary I take a deep breathing, meditation, this thing. And I think Leo is graduating psychology, maybe. He has a good advice, I think. So one thing that I learned to my psychology is needed to think the whole worst what's think that can help. For example, if I are free about to take a airplane, for example, or the worst thing can happen. For example, okay, it's a die maybe, but um, when you think in the horse, I think it's possible to realize, because not your problem, nem sempre. Oh my gosh. Your problem, it's a big problem that the result is your die or die the other person, no? But when
Perfect.
I have, for example, the problem for me, it's my challenge is speaking English. Or what's the big problem for me is passar vergonha for the judgment for the other person. And okay, but what it's affect my feeling, what it's affecting my person. When we question for this, I think it's easier you overcome your challenge. And the other side that Leo said is when you split your problem and go step by step, it's a good advice strategy.
Perfect. I totally agree with you. You need to think sometimes about, like, what is the worst thing that, can happen in the future if you commit the mistakes and if you do something wrong. This is really interesting. And sometimes I feel that we lose the connection of the things. Like, you know, we always think in a problem, facing a problem, like is the end of the things. You know, it's the end. Oh my God, will be the end. But then you overcome the thing. Oh my God, I need to a lot of, you know, we have a lot of things to solve after this problem because you have other problems. So this is really interesting. Sometimes I like to see the big picture of the things. Like English is a part of my thing, but I need to learn how to speak Spanish. And probably when I speak Spanish, I will, you know, want other language and so on. And I want to learn, you know, I want to learn a lot of things. So this is this is the point. Evelyn, feel free to say what you want, to comment something that you want. I will say in Portuguese. Se você quiser falar alguma coisa, Evelyn, fica à vontade, tá? O espaço é sem julgamento, é tranquilo, se você entender. Se você quiser só conversar aqui e digitar também, fica à vontade. Beleza? Let's answer the question number 5. I think it's very interesting. What are some effective ways to manage stress and anxiety when facing difficult challenge? You know, tips, little tips, or, you know, objective things like behavior. Bruna Carreta.
Wait, let's do something. Can you share the questions again? Because I can't see them and I got confused. Or can you say it again, please? Yes. I'm sorry. Okay, all right. Which one is it, Angel? I'm sorry.
Question number 5. What are some effective ways to manage stress and anxiety when facing a difficult challenge?
Good.
Like,
all right. Bruna said something nice about meditating. I think this is really helpful for me, at least when I'm really anxious or when I am stressed. Or you know, I like to listen to music too. I think this is a good way to manage stress and to relax a little. Or even planning stuff, just like Leo was saying, you know, because I feel that sometimes stuff, they are in our mind, but when we like look at them, you know, they are easier than we thought they would be, you know. So like try to start doing, or like try to start facing the challenge, because sometimes it's not that hard, and we can solve it faster, or like we can, or if it's hard, we are going to at least we will have started dealing with it, you know. So I think start trying to solve it. I feel that sometimes I just avoid looking at the challenge, or avoid looking at it, because I know it's going to, I feel it's going to be hard, and sometimes it's not that hard as I thought, you know. I think these are my tips.
Yeah, we suffer a lot, you know. Try to understand, oh my God, it will be hard, you know, only in our brain, like we'll be like this or like that. Bruna Shintako, how about you? What's your point?
Well, I like too much to meditate every day. I do this. And the other things, I like to do something that I forgot for a moment my problem. And for example, when I dance, for me, it's amazing because at the moment I needed to pay attention only the teacher, because I don't remember never the steps, for example. So it needed to pay attention all the time. And it's helped me a lot to slow my stress, my anxious. And the other thing is maybe read a good book, and romance, for example. Maybe it's help. It's if it's a problem, no, a love, and for example, no, because if you have a problem with your love, your husband, it's a good problem when they read a romance, you know. That's it.
Yeah, good point. How about you, Leo?
Yeah, I have some strategy, specific strategy for me. I don't know if that can work for uh, other people, but for example, for me, could be play video game. Yeah, to deal with anxiety, with one moment of stress is something that I really enjoy. And then so I'm so stressed for I'm going to play a fight game, and well, I'm going to to fight inside of the game, and I will be good. Or also ride a bike. It's something that I really enjoy. For example, when I am very anxious about anything, I an activity that I really like to do is to ride a bike in the night. Then I took my bike and so put a headset and I go to ride a bike 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, very late. It's a kind of activity that can change me so much. Yeah, I really love this.
Oh, very good tip. Ride a bike. I forgot about bikes. And I was thinking about the time as well, because, I think sometimes we face the challenge like we will live forever, and we have, I'm thinking about the sport, for example, we need to, reduce the time, because in 4 years we have this, this game. So we need to be prepared, really prepared about this. So we need to think, oh, I need to overcome this challenge because I need to be prepared for other challenge and so on. So this is something that sports, have shown me a lot. And thanks a lot for your tips. I think I will, use some and we'll do some of them. Let's jump to the question number 10. And how can someone recognize their strengths and weakness? Because I think this is really hard point when dealing with challenging situations. Leo, you can start.
Well, if you live, for example, with someone, your parents or your wife, your husband, for me, it's important to give ask for feedback. Yeah, it's important to think about how can we react in this kind of situations, yeah, challenging situations, to understand because sometimes we don't know so well about ourselves, and the other who lives with us every day can recognize some specific points inside of us then we never thought stopped to think about. Yeah, and for me that could be a good way, uh, and try to reflect. Yeah, when, for example, um, when I have a challenge in my job, I had um, a challenge to talk with a client in Spanish 2 weeks ago, and after the meeting, I I felt that so I I was able to talk and to express myself with my client, but I felt that sometimes my client was uh, um, trying to approximate to the camera, yeah, and I felt that this is a kind of behavior that they are that this guy was trying to force the process of understanding me. Yeah, and so I felt that I needed to improve more, because sometimes when I was trying to speak some specific things in Spanish, my client, it was very near to the camera, and so maybe that could be a kind of feedback for me. I needed to express myself in a better way, yeah, to facilitate the process of communication.
Yeah, and learning a language, a new language, will be an ongoing process for your entire life, like, because you will always learn something new. It's really hard to acquire all the knowledge. And sometimes we will see people talking a different way, and oh my God, this is really, really good. I would like to talk, the same and so on. So this is really, instigate. I think the process, we need to try to change the mood. Like it's not a challenge, but instigate, something. Oh my God, I need to overcome this. I know that's not easy. It's not that easy, like I'm saying, but I think sometimes when I change this mood, I feel like this. For example, when I'm seeing something about Spanish, I start, oh my God, I need to learn more fast. I need to focus on Spanish. Bruna Shintako, how about you?
Well, I think it's very hard to recognize your strength and weakness. And one time, also I did a course and the necessary question for your friend feedback about myself, and I surprised if my friend talk a little think about me that oh yes, it's really for me. I don't know. I receive it for I'm a go-getter person. I'm a determined. That's it. So a good things about me that no, it's not me. I may only work very well. I'm do my best, for example. But in this moment, I recognize that yes, I do some good things, and I have a weakness point too. And the one thing that I think it's so good to recognize, and for example, for the language, and I need to do this, is to watch the first video, the TNT, for example, and the today, for example, I think it's a good thing to do when you need to, because day by day it's difficult to recognize your evolution. For example, I think it's necessary to dar tempo for to understand your result. I think it's very necessary.
Well, for me, this is really hard, to watch the first video. Oh my God, because I never watch a video that I run, because for me it's kind of weird, and I don't I don't like I don't like to watch myself on the videos. But
No,
I
I
think this is
agree.
important. Yeah, but I think it's really important. It's something that I'm silly doing that, but okay, good.
I also I said for Phil, I have never do the courage to see my video in YouTube, because I don't know, when I started to speak, oh my gosh, no, it's not me. Oh, I my gosh, I mistake. I made a mistake. This. Oh no, I don't believe this. So it's difficult for my ego. No, I think it's the
Yeah,
problem. It's
yeah,
difficult for my ego
yeah,
that I watch my mistake. That's a problem.
yeah. And
But
sometimes we are so hard with ourselves, like pushing us ourselves too much, like trying to. It's hard process.
yeah, but I think it's very important to understand your weakness point. No.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's very brave, in my opinion. It's very brave, to, because this is the method, like what Anna was talking about. Like the method is, you understand, like you face your fear, like this is my problem, but I need to overcome. Okay, but this is really good, when you can see oh my God, I commit that mistakes, but being very comfortable, like, oh, I commit that mistake, in the next moment I will correct them, and okay. Bruna Carreta, your turn.
So many things to add to what
Please,
you guys were
stage is
saying.
yours.
No, first of all, what Bruna said about being able to identify our strengths is really, really hard. I feel that I was watching a video these days about oh gosh, I forgot the word, but it was like basically about that, you know. We learned that it's bad if you are like always like saying your strength, you know, and oh you shouldn't be doing this because you are showing off a lot, you know. But then we feel that we don't have to do this because we need to be humble, and being humble is good, right? So we don't learn how to value our strength, and I'm still learning how to do it, but it's still based on what other people tell me, just like Leo was saying, you know. It's still like listening for listening to feedbacks, like listening to other people's opinions. So my rule is still not mine, you know. I still listen to other people a lot to decide who and what I am, you know, and like decide my strength. I think the weaknesses, they are always easier to look at because we are always comparing ourselves and we are always thinking we're not doing enough, you know. So I think it's easier to say, oh, I can't do this, or when we feel it's hard, you know, we just say, oh, I'm not good at it. And I am learning in this course, you know, about that. It's not that we are not good at it ever, you know, like we still like maybe couldn't be able to do this, but we can learn it, you know. It's not that I'm bad at it. I can develop myself and I can be good, or I can solve stuff, you know. So I am still learning how to identify, you know. I think I am learning that everything is like trainable. I don't know how to say this, but like we can learn everything, you know. So it's maybe this can be a good mindset, you know, to have when we are dealing these like the hard moments, you know. Learn from someone who understands about it, and not compare ourselves, and understand we can do it too, you know. It's a big coach too, just like Leo thing, but I think sometimes
Yeah.
it's good to see it
Coach
this
Bruno,
way.
tell me, what's your strength?
I don't know, Indo. I like for real, for real. I don't know, for real. Yes. I think I don't know. Yeah. I am
Yeah,
good
I
at
was thinking
dealing with
about
people.
this, you know, about what you said, about what Bruno said as well, that about, you know, sometimes it's we only recognize our weakness, but not our strengths. Like the people, you know, are praising you a lot, and oh my God, you are really good on that, you know, that thing. And you, oh my God, no, oh no, oh, me, you know, I'm not like this or like that. But about the weeks, because you know, I'm bad. I'm really bad. I'm like this or like that, you know, I cannot do this or that. But about the
Yes,
week, you can, you know, you can say a lot of things about the weakness, but about the strength, oh no, oh no.
yes. But
But
I think I'm good at helping other people. Like I'm at solving things, you know, and I am curious, and I think this helps me to learn stuff, you know. I think this is a good strength, like to be curious, and like when I don't know something, even I will figure it out, you know. And I think this is a good strength.
we know that you are very good at helping people, and we thanks a lot for helping us here.
Thank you. Thank you for being amazing.
Let's continue with this question. What's your strength, Bruna Shintaku? Your main strength?
I said for you, this part is very hard, no? Because like I said, sometimes I do my best, but it's difficult to recognize the stressor. But I think I'm a go-getter person and very proactive person. I think it's more, it's my stressor. That's it.
Very
And
good.
the weakness, oh my gosh, a lot of other points.
Leo, how about you? Your
Yeah,
main strengths.
it's so difficult, but as I was the last to answer, I had more time to think about.
It's not fair, but
Yeah, but I just find one or maybe two, but I would say that I'm very calm person, that I can deal with complicated situations without, well, so big problems. Um, and I can see that people recognize this even in personal and professional life. Yeah, when we have a, so this weekend I had a big problem to handle in my condom because well, bureaucracy with a birthday inside of my party room. Yeah, the party room of the condo. I had a problem with the condo, and so my wife, it's why so stressful to solve with the, I don't know how can I say, síndico. And I had this a little more skills to handle to I don't know how can I say, pacificar the situation. And it's something that I can see that I can handle, good way in my personal life, and also with some problems in my job too. Maybe I would say that.
yeah, this is really nice because sometimes we don't know how to do something or our strength, why we do not do that kind of thing, It's really awesome. Really awesome. Thanks a lot, everyone. Guys, the question number 2, how
No,
can
Wendell,
we
Wendell, answer the
my
question too.
strength?
Sorry.
Ah,
I'm
yeah,
the
yeah.
host here, I'm the leader. So as a
You need
leader,
to say.
I can jump this question. Guys, I really
Go.
don't know. I'm very curious. And I will say about the feedback. Like I know that I'm very uplift energy. I have this energy. It's my way. Even when I can, I don't want, I know that's my way. It's naturally I act like this. So I think this is my strength because sometimes the people feel very connect with this kind of thing, and I can feel, as well. I can connect. So for me, it's more natural sometimes. That I consider a strength, but sometimes I don't want to be like this. But that's the thing. Okay. So guys, question number 2, how can we stay motivated and positive while facing a difficult challenge? The last tip for the world, because we are, teaching the world how to overcome challenge. We are teacher here. Okay. Bruna Caete, you can be the first.
All right, this is tough, but I think it's important to be around like people who support you for real. I think the being around like people who will uplift you and will, I don't know, will help you somehow can be helpful. And try to find like people who are experiencing the same thing you are experiencing. Like on the internet, there are a lot of people sharing their problems, and they are living the same things we are living. So most of the time I try to find things on YouTube or find other people who are experiencing things on Google, on forums, I don't know, on the internet. I try to find other people experiencing the same things and sharing tips and talking about it in more detail so that I can feel I'm not alone and I'm not the only one facing this problem. This usually helps.
Awesome tip. Awesome tip. Yeah, we have a lot of people, doing the same, sometimes overcoming the same challenge then, and we can always research about this, and be aware about what's going on. Very good tip. Leo, how about you?
I didn't get the question. Sorry, its number.
Number 2, how can we stay motivated and positive while facing a difficult challenge?
Stay motivated. Well, maybe I would say trying to see the light, yeah, in the end of the tunnel, trying to understand what is going to be the outputs after this problem solved, yeah, because sometimes we have a big problem to solve, but after this we're going to see what, and maybe when we look to this goal, sometimes we can get more motivated, yeah. Then, for example, I have this challenge with the English speaking, English skills in a general way. So I'm facing some challenges to improve my English, but I can see that, well, maybe my goals in the future could be um, traveling, or even live abroad without any kind of problem with the language, or also work for a company outside Brazil without any kind of problem to speak with them. And that's why I believe it's important to look to the goal. Yeah.
Other awesome tip. Yeah, I think this is really interesting and amazing, because we always face the thing like the end. Oh my God, this is the end. The problem will be the end. And man, if you learn English, you will travel abroad, and you'll face other problem and so on. And if you want to learn English, you can do a lot of different things. So we need always to connect your skills, like like I will learn English because in the next year, I want to do this or I want to do that. Or, if I learn how to connect this thing, I can do this or that. And awesome point, man. How about you, Bruna? Shintako?
Well, motivated to be motivated, I think it's something that's a come and go all the time. And I totally agree with Bruno. I think it's be surrounded by people the same, maybe the same goals, the same difficult. I think it's helping you a lot. And you said about this, but I usually to motivate me when I think in I achieved my goals, and I do visualize exercise all the time. No, okay, I speak a lot. Oh, I think in English all the time. I don't think in Portuguese no more. For me, I think it's motivating me when I, for example, I know I will travel and I'm be able to speak with a native for for all things. I think it's motivating me all the time.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I think this kind of we have a lot of different tips that that can help us somehow. Like, for example, I have my tips. One tips is try to be, I feel that more connect I am, more I can, I did this, and in a very objective way, like, I did this today and tomorrow I'll do this and do. And when I face, 1 week doing the same thing, oh my God, was really awesome. The next week I need to repeat this, and I need to repeat, the next 4 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, we need to split the things, like, we did it today. So, the next day we're gonna do again, and so on. And that's it, guys. thanks a lot for these tips and for this conversation. You know, was really awesome. I will share with you the forms help me to improve this conversation by giving me tips about how to stay, with my energy refreshed to to have this conversation and to create new topics here. And if you want to say something for the people that are watching us, feel free about how to overcome challenge. Anyone want to say something? The final sentence.
Oh, just to be thankful for this conversation. It's always so good to have class with you, with Bruna and other Bruna, the two Brunas. It's so
Yes.
good to have class with you, and I can learn a lot.
Awesome. Thanks a lot,
I
Leo.
agree.
Thanks, Brunas, for being here. I really like this conversation, So,
was
guys, have a very good week, okay? And still coming here in this conversation and still learning English and learning a lot of things. And next we will learn a lot of different things, okay? Be prepared.